Alrighty, so I'm going to start in on what will basically be, it's kind of a cathedral, but it's going to be the Great Hall. And what I've done here is a circle that is 17, but I'm only going to do half circle because I want the rest to be kind of in that cathedral-y cross shape that's so classic. But I like the idea that it sticks out over the edge here. We get all kinds of fun formations, like this is hanging out over here. So I've gone ahead and blocked it off, and we're not really going to use these, so I'll just take them away so that we don't get confused. And on this side, we're going to do the same thing we've done before. We're going to put our foundation in mossy stone, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 all the way across, and it looks like that's actually more than we need. So we need a 5, and then it breaks off into a 2. Then it's actually kind of a triangle shape here. And then another 2. And then back to our 5. Again, I'm going to use as much of the hill as I can and leave it the way that it is. In this case, though, I think I'm going to actually do the floor in, well, no. I take that back because there's so much of it already there. We'll just go ahead and stick with the technique that we've been using, and use that gravel. Allow that gravel to be. One thing that we're going to do though is we're going to use some of that really great stained glass that's available now, and I'm very excited about that. So we'll try to do something creative with the stained glass. Oh, there comes the snow. One thing about this is it looks like it may be actually hanging out just a little bit further than I wanted to. So what I may do is modify the design ever so slightly, just because what we have over here is that sheer drop, and over here is the triangle. So that's okay. It's close enough. I don't think it's going to affect anything. I don't think it's going to hurt my design at all. So if this is the floor of the cathedral here, the original floor, at this level, then maybe my foundation shouldn't come up quite so high. But you know what? It's a cathedral, and so I'm going to let it be, because the stone is just going to look great. Alright. So I think what I'm going to do is just extend it the same length as the other, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, that looks like it's about the right. So what I'm going to do now is put a very small circle here. This will be the center point of that small circle. So I'm thinking maybe actually if I put that, I consider that. Then referring back to my circle diagram, what we've basically got here is a 7. And so it ends up being a 3. Like so. Yeah, and that's pretty much what I was going for. So that works for me. What's going to happen here then is that that little frame of reference actually is going to be kicking out another circle over here. So again, if I use that same one, this becomes my circle, like so. Only one problem, I think I've missed. So I need to move everything over. Perfect. So my reason for doing that was actually just to give it a little rounded edge so that I could then have the full cathedral area here. I don't want to take up too much of my courtyard though. Just want to be aware of that. So I think what I'll go ahead and do is just finish off my little transepts and not go too wild. So what I can do is actually, if I rethink my design a little bit, not get quite so gothic. Just make a smaller circle. Not even really a circle at all. I'm going to throw a few more torches down, if for no other reason than to melt the snow. There we go. This is a real medieval problem. Can't do stonework in the snow. I'm just filling these gaps while I'm thinking about it. What I'm also thinking about is, how am I going to do those side... And I think what I'm going to do since basically what I've done here, just to visualize it. It's 1, 2, 3. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's where we are. What I think I'm going to do is just go ahead and make another circle. It might not be necessarily historically accurate, but I think it'll work for what it is we're doing here. So if that's the case, where do I want to put the center of my new circle? This is kind of a math problem, honestly. Well, I think a lot of it's going to depend on how long I want my little church to be. So let's go ahead and map out the entire length of the transept. And see, I've still got enough courtyard. I feel pretty good about that. Let's commit to this. We'll take our mossy stone bricks, which we're using for our foundation, and we'll just go ahead, throw it on a torch again so that the snow doesn't collect on it. And we'll just draw the whole line here. Pop over to the other side, do the same thing over here. And I think that you'll agree that we can just choose a circle size that makes the most sense based on the whole length. Perfect. So yeah, we'll come back over here and we'll pop a circle in right here. And again, we'll rely on our red carpet pieces to help us map it out. And I think that with that as a center point, if we do a circle that goes to about right here, then what we can do is we can do a circle that would be a 9, and that'll work just fine for us. And as we've done before, a 9 has 5 on either side. So we can just go ahead and lay that out right here like this. That's going to be our center point. It means this will actually go away. And if we put our circle here, then what we'll end up with is something similar to the traditional cross shape that we're looking for. So let's lay it down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With a 9, it all stays connected. We do our little W shape, and then we do 9 more. Or I should say 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because we've put our guidelines down, boom, there is our half circle. And so what I've been creating is a ruined castle. And as a part of this, I've been doing the layout kind of in a way, it's not based on anything really historical, but we're using some pretty historical techniques, the way that we have to lay it out, the math behind it, that kind of a thing. And so what I'm going to show you real fast is how I've done a circle on the side of this. And we're going to make a circle that matches just like this one. And when you make circles in something that uses just cubes, like Minecraft, you have to be very, very careful about the geometry and the math.